Hello, America. How are we today? Eddie Marcus here. Are you feeling any more blessed today than you did yesterday? Are you more excited about this life, this time, these few hours that we're looking forward to, than those few that we just passed up? How are we feeling about those? I have to ask you these kinds of things, ladies and gentlemen, because I respond to you based upon me. My predicament. I speak from my predicament. I see what causes. I'm blessed now, I guess. I see what's causing it. I see what the relief is. And so when I see people going through similar things as the things that I go through, I'm figuring they go just like I. But for some strange reason, some of us have a voice. Some of us can speak and stand up, and some of us just don't, for whatever the reasons might be. We're not to judge on that, be that as it may. There'll come a time when everything will be exposed for what it really is. And we will know then, is it what it was made to be? And so what I say, ladies and gentlemen, here is that we constantly just know that today is going to be no better than yesterday for many of us. And yet we look at politicians talking about the future. You got a man who has been associated with the team of Satan, and you got a bunch of people who says, I guess they agree, they say lies now aren't lies, they're just alternative facts. You got all of that going on. You got other people who say, we don't want to go that low, we don't believe in that. And you know, this isn't anything new. Ever since you've been on the earth, all of us, ever since we've been on the earth, we've been going through the same argument. And it doesn't matter who's in office, who we elect, men or women, black or white, the game still is played. And we ask ourselves, what do we have to rely on? There was a time we used to pray and thought that maybe there was a God, but then we have been given to think that perhaps there is no God. Well, that is what those who do not know will say. How many of you would give up? Those of you who can see, how many of you would give up your ability to see to become blind? I don't think there would be many takers. We have seen what blindness represents. And when we compare that with our ability to go, come, jump, do these kinds of things, and well, blind people just can't do that. So not many of you. Sometimes those who are blind, you ask them if they would like to see and offer them an opportunity to see, and they say no. They want to pass it up. They have no confidence in seeing. They say, what does it profit? Why do they say that? Because they can't see. That's what the blind folks, they can't see what you're doing. They know how whatever you're doing affects them. They got problems. They could blame it on you or just whatever. They're there, but they can't see. And just like they can't see, many people who consider themselves having the ability to see or see, to others, or should I say to the truth, they are just as blind as those walking around with the cane. Oh yes, blind people who have been blind for a while get their cane. They can figure out how to do what they do. And in that world, they can see. You can't in that world unless you learn it. And in the world that you're in, you are just as blind to the world that you're not in as they are. So what you got to do is what they did. They wanted to see, even in darkness. So over time, they came up with a means that they could exercise their gifts in this particular world and see what we can't see. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the same opportunity that we have in our daily seeing world that is causing us all this mess. And we can't see beyond the liar who has been representative of trying to destroy this nation, who has promised us that if he gets back into office, the first thing that he's going to do is the people, put bluntly, that he doesn't like, he's going to punish them. He is promising you, when I get back in the office, I'm going to punish them. And there are so many people filled with so much hate, so much resentment, that they're just bubbling over. They want to see this evil monster in the office so bad that they give their souls. You talk about entertainers selling their souls to get money. Look at you. You're selling your souls to this evil act just to satisfy that. But hey, that's you. That's you. The thing of it is, what made you? I guarantee you didn't come into this world that way. But you've been living in this world all your life, and this is what the world, in your experience, has produced. The most vile, evil bunch of junk you could possibly be. But to know that means to accept that or do something about it. For us, in our society, we've always had slavery. We've always held that some people are superior to others. Those who carry themselves as such, and those who knew it wasn't true, but accepted it just the same. And what we have produced is the hell that we're in today. And you got this nut, a representative of nothing but evil, saying, I want to be your leader. And what are the other people saying that says, no way, Jose? Give us somebody who we believe that the public will like enough to just keep this man out. But there's no promise in that. This man, Joe Biden is a good man. I'm sure he's just as good as Barack Obama and other people. But what did they do to make this a better world? What did they do to make this a better country? What did they do? And why are you satisfied? Because you don't want to do anything. You want somebody else to do everything for you. And it just come to you. You got to, if you want better, you got to do better. All of us got to do better. Walking in the streets with signs ain't good enough. You can't walk up with a street on a sign that says, I'm pissed off, but I got to go to work in an hour. What does that mean? If it's not working for you, quit it. Stop it. And represent something that's better. I remember back in the 80s, I used to talk about these kinds of things, and it was seemingly so hard. At that time, I had been considering political office seriously. And I would be out championing this conversation that I'm thinking everybody would want to see. And it was slapping me in the face in every kind of way, meaning that I was not able to deliver the message clear enough for you to understand it. And so it was basically rejected at all ends. I remember one time I was at some radio show in a community. I can't think of the name of it right now. It had to do with a newspaper in Minneapolis. And whatever the meeting was about, I was glad to be there because I knew a beautiful conversation. And as the conversation was going around, they got to me, and I started spouting off in this way of thinking, and moved on to the next subject. They did everything they possibly could to avoid me saying anything. I remember one time things got so hectic, so blind out here, so dark out here, that I decided to commit a crime against the people of the state of Minnesota. I decided to do that so that in hopes, this is my hope, that I could draw attention to me as one who has been out here talking about how wonderful things could be. Now here I am committing a crime. I wanted to draw attention to me so I could tell you that what I'm telling you is absolutely true. And I want it to happen for you. I want your life to be about living. And I know you want it. And so I wanted you to listen and see what it meant to me. Other people say, like Trump, he's telling you the same stuff almost, except now he's promising to whoop you. But Biden is telling you this. And I wanted to show you the difference between saying that and what it meant, if it meant something. It meant something to me. That's why I committed that crime. I wanted you to know that it meant something to me. And why did it mean so much to me? Because I know that I can't deliver. The only thing I can do is to show you the way, and we together as a people deliver. If we can't come together as a people, we don't deserve it. I want you to know that. But that wasn't what we've been trained to know, so I was discarded. Yet and still, when I look at 2023 and the same things that were happening then are happening now, but worse, and this message of life that I was telling then is the same message that I've always spoke, and it's the same message I bring to you now, and it is as alive today as it was in the beginning of time. But you can't see it. See, what you don't understand is when that, in the scriptures, when they say, you should not surely die, they say, you know that scripture. Well, you know the scripture that says something about in order for you to make it in life, you're going to have to work by the sweat of your brow? Meaning slavery. Do you remember that? I'm sure you do. But do you know who told you that? Somebody was trying to say God was punishing you. No, that wasn't it as I see it. What I see it, and I'm sure you all should see it, because it's just been revealed right before our very eyes. They call it projection. Projection. When Trump comes in and say they are trying to steal our election, they stole it. When they were doing the stealing, you will not surely die. Tricking you, thinking that you're going to die. And that when things happen, you didn't die. And you don't have any idea what that meant. It doesn't even matter, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter. Why focus on something like that? What you need to focus on is the answer today. If you can find the answer today, you will have a hold of the answer from the beginning. They are the same. Now, I don't want to spend too much more time talking about this, but I did want you to know, and I do want you to know, that your day is no better than the day you had yesterday. And it will be no better tomorrow than this day if we do this day the same things we did yesterday, and trusting in somebody else, hoping that someone else will stand up for us. No, we got to stand up individually. And hopefully when we stand up as individuals, we look around and we'll see everybody standing up. But we're standing up as individuals. That is what we call the straight and narrow. Understand? The straight and narrow, standing up as individuals for what's right. For hell, what everybody else say, you stand up for what's right. You'll be surprised. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.